I'm not a morning person.
Dedicated to being passionate about it.
Bodybuilders have become more lazy.
People have always thought I lift fake weights.
Iran and the United States.
You take responsibility for that.
By the way, I also want to ask you, did having a son, like, did it affect you in any way, change you? A lot of people have like different experiences when they have kids, you know? They say like their whole life changes. Was that the same for you?
Tremendous. The typical stuff, you got to start thinking about the future more so than just yourself. Because I've always been a future guy. I've always been lifting and going, hey, how can I continue to do this? How can I do this over 4 decades? How can I do that? And now it's, well, how can I tussle with my son in 20 years and give him somebody to beat down in a sense, you know, like, and how can I continue forward in that sense? And how can I set him up to win in the future? And so it changes my whole mindset of not just what can we do in the future, but how can I set him up to be something and carry on? So in those aspects, it changed it quite a bit. And so it gave me even more motivation, which just keeps coming. As I think you're the same as me. We get more focused and a narrower road in a sense that our focus, we don't get distracted as much as we get older. And so I think that's a great point of it too. I know what I need to take care of. I know what I have to do and what wastes my time.
You know, last time we sat down, you told me your schedule, right? Which was pretty crazy. I mean, for me, it was pretty crazy. You wake up at 4 a.m., I believe, right? Go to the gym. The whole day is just so, you know, planned out. Go to sleep early. It was just like, is it the same now? Did you adjust anything? And did it change?
We adjusted it. I've been lucky in a sense that I've been able to have my gyms. And so in some sense, that's worked out great for us. But I also got to do this. Being one of the top 5 guys in the world, being requested for guest postings, that had me crazy the last 7 years. And so the one thing it would allow me to do is that those got all canceled. So I wasn't traveling every single weekend. And so as you and I talk about nutrition and training and stuff, and me staying in a deficit all year long to stay on stage and look good, that's destructive to the body. And so I got to go off season. I got to kick back and almost like, in a sense, fix whatever little owies or injuries I had and allow me to just go off season and go a surplus of calories. So it was a huge benefit. And so my schedule wasn't as crazy. It wasn't 4 in the morning because we were training mostly at the house here with that gym that you saw. And so 5 or 6, but the days, I imagine just like you, we can fill our day up with work. And one of me is 7 days a week. So it's one of those things that it's not, oh, hey, Sunday, we get to relax today. We're still working.
Yeah. You know, I did some research, right? And a lot of the very successful people in the world, they follow that method, waking up super early, like 4, 5, kind of handling a lot of the tasks before everybody else wakes up. Is that kind of like, did you structure your mindset based on that? Or was it was natural to you to do that?
I didn't structure it that way until I was 20 and I learned about all these individuals. And then I go, holy sheesh, I've been doing this the last 11 years. And then at 20, I realized, you know, by 17, I was in the magazines like we talked about. And so it's like, I'm doing something here that is setting me up to win. And then I looked at all these other individuals. And I think as you grow and you continue to level up and you're more around people that are successful and then a different level of success, then a different level of success, you find out these little traits that all these individuals have. And you kind of go, wow, they're very similar when it breaks down to small, little, minute things like just getting up early. And so I continued that 100% just because it's 2 reasons. One is I love the fact that I feel like the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith and his dog. You know, I get up at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning and it's just me and my dog and we're heading off to the gym and there's nobody awake. But I also feel like I'm getting a kickstart on everybody else. We all got 24 hours. We all got 7 days a week. And I remember that I think it was Trump that talked about this. And he said, if you want to be successful, it's not 9 to 5.
Right.
It's the average, right? It's usually paycheck to paycheck. You want to I loved how his approach was, we have weekends. So that gives me another week over anybody else because we work Saturday and Sunday. So you start adding all these things up and you start adding up hours that you get up relative to when you go to bed or your work. It's a crazy, it was some crazy number. Like you get 2 more months a year of where you can work on success relative to the individual that always takes the Friday, Saturday, Sunday off kind of thing, or weekends and vacations and all that. And we love what we do. So it's not like it's work. So we're okay doing that. And it gives us so much more time. So early in the morning, and we love working. So
I have a question about that. So how do you not burn out with that? Because it's almost like a robot. You wait, like you follow such a regimen, you count the hours that you work. I mean, how do you not burn out? I understand somebody can do that for a year, let's say, right?
Yeah.
How do you, you've been doing it your whole life. Like, how do you, how do you still continue even to be motivated to do that every day?
I figured out it was 42 years now. I've been doing it at 4 in the morning, and lifting. 42 years, and people are like, how do you do that? And I saw somebody talk about it, and it's such a true point. You don't get burned out by doing something you love. You get burned out by doing things that don't give you passion. Everything we do and everything I've done in my lifetime, I didn't cut corners in the sense it wasn't no give and take. It was like, this is how I kind of want to set my life up. This is what I like. This is fun for me. This is passionate for me. I'm going to do everything I can to stay with that and do those kind of things. And so it's I never got burnt out from it. The only thing I do get is like this last year is by having to be in a deficit, I had to feed my body correctly. So I always say, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm one of the most requested guys to guest post. That puts me in a situation to where I always have to, mostly for me, I want to come into guest pose in shape. I don't want to be an off-season guest poser. And that's why I keep getting booked and booked. But at the same time, that's hurtful to the body. So this last year really helped me be able to take my physique to a whole new level. And now that we start guest posing here in a couple of weeks, it's exciting to be able to reveal. Actually, I put on muscle, a lot of muscle this last year. And so I get to go guest pose again. It's like, it gave me more passion, more oomph. So yeah, I don't burn out because it's fun. It's fun.
So about sleep, right? So obviously, according to doctors, right, humans supposed to sleep like, 8 hours a day, right? That's what they recommend. Now I heard Steve Harvey, right? He made a speech and he was like, if you sleep 8 hours a day, then you can't be successful as an entrepreneur, as entertainer. It's just impossible. Then I heard somebody else, some other speeches basically promoting sleep. They're like, no, you have to sleep. You should get as much sleep as possible. That way you're more attentive, more productive in your business and in the gym and whatever. You know what I'm saying? What is your take on sleep? What do you think? 8 hours or 9 hours?
I think 7.5 hours is the doctor requirement to try to get your body recovered, muscle recovery, brain function, all those kind of things. I agree with it. I think that kind of sleep is good. I do get to bed pretty early though. So I'm pretty good. I shut it off at 8 o'clock. I'm done. And then I'm up at 3 in the morning. So I get a good 7 hours or so sleep. And
you believe in sleep. You like sleep. You think it's good for you.
I think it's 100% good for you. I really do. And it's a crazy thing. Like if I'm working with somebody on nutrition and I can have them on a great nutrition plan, a great training plan, everything's perfect. Everything's perfect except their sleep. All I do is change their sleep and their body changes. So sleep's, you can't. And also remember, sleep is going to keep you youthful. There's a grind to that. You start skipping sleep, but you got to schedule it in like anything else. Yeah. I can shut off the TV and go to bed and shut off my mind at 8 o'clock. I'm done. And I had a friend come over. He's funny. This guy's coming over. We're going to do this huge lecture this next day. And he just gets over there like around 7:40 and to the house. And he talks about this when he went on stage because it was like, all right, you're here. All right, take care. I'm going to bed. It's schedule. You schedule it, you schedule. I'm not staying up and talking and partying with him. I'll see him the next day on the schedule. So that's how I'm pretty regimented that way.
That's interesting. So what about do you meditate? Do you do any type of mental exercises or breathing exercises?
I do if you ever seen me work out, that's my meditation. It's a calming battle, almost like a peaceful warrior in a sense. I love going under the weights, and I can turn it on and turn it off, a switch. Being an athlete my whole life, gladiators until mid-40s, is one of those things from young teenager, not even teen, prepubescent, doing martial arts and competing, to now I can get under the weight and shut off everybody else outside of it without music and still be in my head listening to what the voices are saying. And so that's my meditation. And I actually love that meditation. I love the battle of the weights and getting into that fight. Relative to, I ask my training partners not to cheer for, you know how, come on, let's go. And say nothing. I want nothing. I'll get this myself. And that's just me in my head. And it's a very important thing. So if you can't meditate while you work out, get some kind of medication or alone time to where you can veg and just kind of prioritize what's important, clean out the mind, get rid of the negative, put some positive in there.